In our next segment, we're going to be looking at the power of fashion, science, and wonder to communicate some of the world's most complex issues of our time, including the human tragedy from the Syrian conflict. The dress for our time was created by Professor Helen Storey, an award-winning British artist and designer. The dress itself is made from a tent, which is no longer in usable condition, which was gifted to the project by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or UNHCR. We will now learn a bit more about this project in a short video.
It seemed to me that it would be quite easy to get enamoured and enthused by doing endless tours of the frock in different places, but actually the whole reason to do it was that I was trying to find what my part in all of this might be. So I've begun to think of her as the flag, really, and behind the flag are these other things that are starting to emerge. I had a meeting with the UNHCR after St Pancras, and we were talking about where the project could go next, and I said I'd very much like to go to Zaatari to understand really what all this is about. I didn't want the project to end up just being a project of effect, where we take the dress and people have reactions, but eventually we would get bored of that and so would other people. The reason for doing it was to be able to try and make some sort of contribution to the problem, right at the root of it. So many things came out of it, as well as concrete projects. I think we came away with a really clear idea of what would help. I think of Sheffield's ideas as being practical tech fixes, and what we might be doing is how you work with those and how you live with those, and centering really on how young girls and women can flourish in new ways. When men, women and children simultaneously have to rebuild their lives, that there's a kind of equality there that isn't there outside of war or outside of trauma and tragedy. The women are being given more space to do things that perhaps back in Syria they weren't allowed to do. What I find with projects that I work on is that how I start something new is to kill off the thing I've just done. And I think it's far too early to kill off the dress. It seems to have a power to it when people come across it. So I think the dress as a project will last longer perhaps than any other project I've done before, for good reason. Meanwhile, I think these other projects, which are, you could say, are probably more to do with activism, and not necessarily with something you directly associate with fashion, but to do with the bettering of life, is, I think, the area that I'm going to be moving into more and more. It's finally getting closer and closer to what I think I'm meant to do. So the dress, if you like, remains a rather beautiful flag for something that is deeper and will last for longer. I'm still on a learning curve about what we can come up with that will be of genuine value to them. And they, in turn, I don't think they realise just how much they've got to teach us. What they have got to teach us, I don't think we can imagine.
And also thank you to Helen for creating this project and this incredible dress we see before us. Helen has asked us to share with you that in giving this tent a second life, it gives this public art installation an unbreakable bond to humanity and it represents the importance of nurturing and protecting all people and safeguarding generations to come. It is a powerful symbol of what it means to be human and the precarious nature of our existence. Helen Storey is in our audience tonight. Hello, Helen.